Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Deliches and welcome back to 1 year 365. So today will be the first day of fasting month. Excuse me one second. I probably should have done this earlier, but I haven't. So yeah. Okay, I just drink there. Basically, today will be the first day of fasting month. If you don't know, every Muslim, one month every year, there is this special month in which they have to fast pretty much like they have to fast for a month. Fasting means that you don't eat or drink or do anything that pretty much is I don't know, inappropriate or breaking the law of fasting. I guess not really law, but more like breaking the fasting. And yeah, from morning to evening, and yeah, throughout the day, pretty much. It's like full day. Um, until the dusk until down. um, you don't it it's either dusk to dawn or dawn to dusk. I don't know which one is which. Before sunrise and after sunset, you don't eat anything. And today will be the first day of that. For the next month, or about 28 to 29 days, or even 30, I don't know. It's kind of difficult. Probably 29 days anyway. So yeah, it is called Ramadan month. I do this. So yeah, I did many religious stuff as well, like in this podcast, explaining stuff. For instance, for instance, like Christmas and what else? Maybe oh yeah, the Lunar New Year as well for the Chinese people and etc. etc. Pretty much. So yeah, it's just like learning culture. So yeah, I guess since this is my religion, so always a good thing that I also covered this one. However, I'm not gonna make big series for this one though, because I think when this video is out, if I remember correctly, it should be like 100 days left or so until the this series actually ends, and I kind of want to fill that with not really. I don't really plan to make any mini series again after that, because again, like 100 days is kind of quick, and I feel like if I make mini series, that'll take about 7 days or so. Um, 7 episodes pretty much, and yeah, maybe I will do a little bit. I don't know. It's kind of tough, honestly. I kind of want to make the fourth chapter, just like I don't know, yeah, I kind of want to make the final chapter a little bit different, but I still don't know what will be there. But it will not be miniseries because yeah, I don't think it will be miniseries anymore. Maybe I will do like real life stuff. I don't know. I mean, that's the plan, but I don't really have any proper equipment for real life stuff. Maybe in the future, probably, but I don't know. Things can change. Pretty much. Fun fact: when this video is out, it's already March 22nd, I believe. But when I recorded this one, it's still January 25th. So yes, this video is actually made 2 months ago, and yeah, in my POV, it will be 2 months from now in the future, and 2 months is actually quite a long time. March 22nd, pretty much it's like the end of March, right? And that is actually 3 months already in to 2023, or about 25%. So yeah. January, I can tell for January, it's doing great, it's doing fine. After this, there will be February. I have some plan for February for sure, but for March, I don't think so. It's kind of still like a little bit roughly in the future, right? Like it's more than a month to March, and it will be like yeah, it's a little bit foggy. I cannot really see what like I have goals, but like about like what I'm supposed to do. It's a little bit blurry, pretty much. Can't really see that far just yet. So, yeah. That will be February already been passed, March almost ending. So yeah, that is literally 2 months, which I haven't experienced. But when this video is out, I will be, it'll be different. Me in the 2 months from now will be different from me that is talking in this video at the moment. So yeah. Anyway, we're already off tangent. That's just basically saying that this video is made 2 months ago. And yeah, let's just start Ramadan. This video will probably be 30 minutes or something. So yeah, it's just gonna be an episode of this one, and not gonna be mini series. Yeah. Anyway, Ramadan is the ninth month of the Islamic calendar. I actually don't know that it's the ninth month, for real. Not that I, don't care about this. It's just the fact that we always use the, Gregorian calendar, right? Or the Julian calendar, the one that has, January to December. So, that's like our national calendar pretty much. So yeah, like it's difficult if you have to use two calendar system, and the fact that Ramadan is not always coherent with the regular calendar pretty much. So yeah, I actually don't know that this is the ninth month. Maybe I did know and I forgot, but for real, at least I forgot or just straight up didn't know. Anyway, observed by Muslims worldwide, yes, like I said, as a month of fasting or psalm. Prayer, reflection, and community. Okay, so in the fasting month, pretty much it's like the biggest chance for us to do good deeds. Pretty much, it's not all about fasting. It's all about the good things that you've done in the month. Pretty much like like also it's a forgiving month as well. Like for instance, if you make mistake and you're sorry, what is it called again? Like you feel remorseful pretty much, then your sin will be pardoned. Well, at least that's what we believe, or at least that's what I believe. To this month pretty much, it's like a sacred holy month. You might call that, although that might not be true, but I don't know, like at least that I'm experiencing it, it feels that way pretty much. But yeah, so like things like helping others, praying as well, yeah, and then doing less bad things. Obviously we're humans, we cannot be 100% pure, right? We make mistakes every day, every second. So I feel like it's, yeah, but we're trying, right? We're trying not to do bad things during this month. Well, at least that's what we believe anyway. Commemoration of Muhammad's first revelation. The annual observance of Ramadan is regarded as one of the five pillars of Islam. Yeah, okay. So there's five pillars of Islam, obviously, and fasting is wait, it's either the second or the third. I forgot. And lasts 29 to 30 days. Okay, so it's 29 at the third or 30. Unlike, you can kind of call it like this February pretty much. So February has like 28 or 29 days, right? Depending if it's a leap year or not. And um, for Muslim, there's also the same month, which is called Ramadan. Sometimes it's 28 days, sometimes it's 29. um, the way you determine that is by the appearance of the moon pretty much. Like there's certain degree, I don't know what it's called, like pretty much if it's under certain degree, then I think it is already, no. Wait, is it already or not yet? I don't know, but it's one or the other pretty much. Basically you're determining that um, with the appearance of the moon in the sky pretty much. Okay, yeah, this is the moon pretty much. Yeah, you just take a look at the moon face pretty much. And if it's like fully covered or something, then it's the start or the end pretty much. Okay, and then there's this one over here. Okay, there's people, yeah, people gathering around, like praying pretty much. Yeah, like this one. And then there's also like this, for instance, reading Quran. And then there's this activity as well, which is open fasting together, or break fasting together. And then this is the food, kinda, although not really, but kinda close. I don't know. So basically, when you break fasting or open fasting, it will be what is it? It will be it's like suggested that you eat things that are sweet, pretty much. So yeah, it's supposed to be like you eat dessert, but in the beginning, but uh, not really full dessert or dessert, but it's more like or dessert. Is it dessert or dessert? A dessert, I think. It's not really a dessert like full dessert, full cake. You don't eat that. It's more like dessert but acted as appetizer, pretty much. So yeah, your appetizer is sweet, pretty much. But yeah, from top left to right, a crescent moon. Yeah, Turkey. The beginning of the Islamic month. Yeah, like I said, the beginning or the start and the end. Um, it will be decided by the appearance of the moon, at certain degree, pretty much. Ramadan Quran reading in Bandar Turkaman, yeah, this one over here. Iran community iftar. Oh, that is iftar. Wait, iftar is break fasting, I think. And then after that, Tarawih, yeah, this one over here, praying, and then food served at a traditional iftar meal. Yes, yeah, like I said, usually it's sweet because it's suggested that you eat sweet first, and then after that, decoration in Jerusalem over here, and then zakat. Okay, donation boxes in Taipei, Taiwan. That is interesting. Okay, I thought. Well, I mean there's always certain percent, right, like minority of people, that are Muslim, right, throughout the world, I believe. And yeah, it's kind of unusual that I see in Taiwan and Taipei. Yeah, pretty much. But anyway, let's continue over here because this is like a big one, I believe. Observances, okay. Celebrations, yes. Begins at the last night of the month of Shaban. Ends at the last night of the month of Ramadan. Yeah, it's obvious. Date will be variable. Yeah, it follows the Islamic lunar calendar. Yeah, like I said, there's a literally different calendar system. So yeah, for like a no-brainer, basically it will start about 10 days earlier than the previous one. So for instance, if it happens in 10th of January, then next year it will happen like in the 1st of January, or about that date, pretty much. And like the next year it will be 20 something December, or 20 December, around 20 December. And then the next year after that it will be around 10 of December, and then the next year it will be 1st of December, etc., etc. Pretty much. Because why is that 10 days? Because the amount of days in Islamic lunar calendar is 354 or 355, while in the our regular calendar it will be 365 or 66. So 65 minus 54, that is like about 11, right? So it's about 10 to 11 days apart, pretty much. So yeah. Okay, fasting from dawn to sunset. Okay, so it's dawn to dusk then. Okay. For all adult Muslims, yep, who are not ill, pretty much, yes. If you're ill, you're kinda not allowed to. However, you must change the number of days that you don't do outside the month as well. So yeah, pretty much you owe the fasting outside that month, pretty much. Okay. Um, Traveling, obviously, like if you're traveling long way, there's like a certain limit, pretty much, like how far you travel. Because you do a lot of travel, then you can get jet lag and stuff like that. And you need things like water, pretty much, or food so that you don't pass out, right? So yeah, that's why if you're traveling long as well, you're not kind of not allowed to do that. Elderly, okay, so if you're like old, then you're also having like the it's eased that you don't have to fast as well. If you're breastfeeding, obviously, because you're breastfeed babies, right? Like infants, um, you lose a lot of water or liquid, right? And it means that pretty much you're losing nutrition yourself, and yeah, you should not, actually you must not uh, fast as well, because again, it's just to prevent that you're hurting yourself or passing out pretty much. If you're diabetic, I actually don't know about that. I guess you can consider that as ill or disease, I guess, or menstruating. That is for women, I guess. Because it's blood, right? And it is considered as unholy, kinda. I mean, it's obviously unholy. So yeah, if you have that, you must not, pretty much. If you do though, you will be sinful, pretty much. You will be sinned for that. So yeah, um, the pre-dawn meal is referred to as suhoor, okay, and the nightly feast that breaks the fast is called iftar. Ah, I see. Oh yeah, it's a sahur, I think, or suhoor, kinda. It's the same. Um, oh yeah, this one as well. Because we actually talked about this back in December, about people that lives in the pole, right, or in the North Pole and in the South Pole. Pretty much, they will experience days that is longer than 12 hours. So it will be bad for people that live there, right? Like literally, they have to, fast for more than even 24 hours. That is kind of impossible, right? Because the sun is always out sometimes during polar day, and yeah, that is bad, because yeah, you you don't just fast that long, pretty much. Yeah, there is this fatwas, pretty much, who live in regions with a midnight sun, yeah, or polar night, yeah. As you can see, the hyperlink is actually purple because we visited that again back in December. Should follow the timetable of Mecca. Okay, so basically there is this again your east, pretty much, like if if it's daytime every time, then you only do certain time only. For instance, maybe from 4 to 6, for instance, 4 in the morning to 6 in the evening. But if 6 in the evening is still bright, just like afternoon, then you just still break fasting, pretty much, because again, that's like the changes, right? Like that's like to make it easier for people that live there. Anyway, um, the spiritual rewards of fasting are believed to be multiplied during Ramadan. Yeah, like I said, that's why people just do good deeds over here, because everything that you do is believed to be multiplied by how many? Uh, I don't know. I guess it kind of depends on what you believe. But for me though, I just know that it's worth more. Like for instance, if you help, I don't know, if you donate something to the poor outside Ramadan, for instance, you get one, right? You get 1 point. However, if you do that in the month, then that will be multiplied by X, pretty much. So like it's more than one, pretty much, and in the end, you will be rewarded more points. So yeah, I mean that's what people believed anyway. But me personally, I feel like um, I know I believe that it's multiplied. However, that should not mean that I should stop doing good things outside the month, pretty much. Because I feel like people understand this as well. Like some of them, like just because it's not Ramadan month, then you can do whatever you want. But no, that's not true. I mean, you still have to do good deeds outside the month as well, pretty much. So yeah. Okay. According during the hours of fasting, Muslim refrain not only from food and drink, okay, but also tobacco products, like for instance, using cigarettes or consuming cigarettes. You're not allowed to do that. sexual relations. Obviously, you can only do that during the night, but not out in the open. Why? Because um, basically the liquid that like either of them have during this kind of stuff, it is considered as unholy as well, so that will ruin your fasting pretty much. That's why it's not allowed. So yeah, only on nighttime. I mean, it's kind of common sense as well, right? Like, you don't do that during the day, right? Usually, I mean, like through the normal norm, pretty much, right? Like, you do that at night. Anyway, and sinful behavior, yeah, like for instance, I don't know, like what is it? Doing bad things to others, for instance, like cursing or yeah, just hurting others or even hurting yourself. That's also not allowed. That is very sinful, and that will actually break your fasting pretty much. And also devoting themselves instead to prayer and Quran pretty much. Yeah, like this is a must as well. Okay, etymology. Oh, okay, that's just the history of the name. Well, this is also another history, I guess, which I'm not gonna, look through because I don't want to make this video a little bit too long. So yeah. Okay, let's see here. The first and last dates of Ramadan are determined by the lunar Islamic calendar, which I said. So yeah. Beginning dates between Gregorian years, okay. Note that this table is based on an unspecified variant of the calendar. Yeah, okay, I understand that. It's fine, it's fine. Um, what do I mean by that is that sometimes there is certain group that starts a little bit earlier, a day earlier, and there's also some group that does do that a day after pretty much, or a day later, and again the ending as well, like it ends a day earlier and it ends a day after. So yeah, it just depends on your community pretty much, which one your source, or yeah, your source pretty much. Like, not no one's wrong in this case. Yeah, no one's wrong pretty much. Okay, Night of Destiny. Okay, so this is pretty much interesting. This is important days pretty much. Night of Destiny, a Qadr, pretty much Qadr night. It's considered the holiest night of the year. So, uh, basically, okay, let's actually just read. It is generally believed to have occurred on an odd numbered night during the last 10 days of Ramadan. The Dawudi Bura believe that Laylat al Qadr was the 23rd night of Ramadan. Yeah, pretty much this is a day or a night in which it worth 1,000 months, pretty much. Yeah, it worth 1,000 months. Pretty much, what it means is that um, it's like a jackpot pretty much. If you hit this, if you do good things in this moment, then yeah, your good things is actually the thing that worth multiplied by 1,000 months, or like you do that for 1,000 months pretty much. That's kind of insane, right? However, there's not really any like specific date in which when this night occurs. So it's, I guess it's only depending on your faith, in my opinion. Me though, personally, I consider this night is when sometime during this period of time, during these 10 days, in the odd numbers, obviously it's either 21, 23, 25, 27, or 29. Pretty much day, yeah, that's the number of day in which this night can happen. So basically, to me though, I feel like you will feel it. You will feel like, if you're really like focusing on your spiritual journey. uh I think I got that, like, well, at least I felt that I got that like years ago. I was feeling very peaceful during one night, like literally my mind really feels so peaceful. I feel like I open like connection to God or something, like pretty much like I feel like I'm like in the most peaceful state of my night. At the time, I was like meditating, and yeah, I was. I felt very calm. I felt very, like, yeah, I felt very calm. I felt very peaceful. And, I was wondering what happened, right, during that time. And, I look up at the date, and apparently that was one of those odd numbers. So, since then, I just believe that it can happen to anyone, as long as I feel like as long as you're trying to, like I don't know, try to reflect yourself pretty much in the most calm and peaceful state, I feel like, and then you will feel that the time is coming pretty much. So yeah. But again, it's only God that knows the exact thing. Maybe I was wrong, but at least that's what I believe anyway. So there's this one special night. Obviously, if you're like also like, yeah, there's like a few years later, I believe, like I think it was like at around 2020 or something. I didn't feel it, at all, because during that time I was like in bad condition pretty much. Like I probably already mentioned about this. It's about, like my university journey pretty much. Everything went wrong, and yeah, I didn't know. I pretty much didn't know what's going on in my life during that specific time. And I'm having hard time to like open connection with with God anyway, pretty much. Like I'm having hard time focusing. And yeah, during the last 10 days I just felt depressed. I didn't feel anything at all. And yeah, I didn't feel that day coming to me, unfortunately. So yeah, I think I really missed that day there. So yeah, I mean that's just what happened, right? Like I feel like if you're having problem, well, at least during in Muslim anyway, um, you go back to your gut pretty much, like you ask for guidance. You just try to be peaceful, right? You just reflect for everything that you may or may not have done, if it's wrong or right, and if there's anything that you could have done, and yeah, how to solve your current problems, etc., etc. I feel like when that time I just was not what is it like ignorant, then I could probably have some revelation to me. But yeah, but it's in the past anyway. I mean, things happen, right? I feel like yeah, but I'm glad though that I was surviving and didn't do any stupid things pretty much. So yeah, but anyway, let's continue. Eid, okay, so it is, I think, at the end of the Ramadan or the first day of the next month. Yeah, this one, the beginning of Shawwal, the next lunar month, pretty much, after the 29th or 30th day of Ramadan. It's the new month, right? So the first day will be this Eid, Eid Mubarak, I think. Pretty much you no longer fast during this time. Religious practices, let's see here. Okay, Ramadan for of the poor people, yeah. Fasting, yeah. Sahur, okay. Iftar, okay. Yeah, iftar surfing, yep. This is during the dawn, okay. Charity, yeah, charity is zakat. Zakat is just charity, meaning that during this period of time you have to offer things. I think it's either like money or staple food, like for instance rice, because we eat rice every day, towards people that need it, or you can do that, donate that through your local mosque or local community pretty much. And yeah, it will count as well. Again, it's either money or your base staple food pretty much, about 2 kilograms, I believe, or about 5 pounds if you're like using the pound metric system. um Okay, nightly prayers. Yeah, okay. During this time, there is also a special prayer that people always do during nighttime, and it only occurs during this month, pretty much. So, if you're like if you're like living in a place where Muslim is minor, pretty much, during this month, don't be worried if you see many people actually gathering around in the mosque. It's just they're praying, they're not doing anything else. Just, don't get worried about that, pretty much. So yeah, just let them be. It's just praying, special prayer that only be done during this month, pretty much. So yeah. Usually it can last as as quick as an hour, or it can extend like maybe 2 hours, 3 hours, depending on how long they do the prayer. Pretty much. Again, it's different, like optional. Pretty much. It depends as well on the people. Like like people are busy, right? So if you're in the place where people are kind of busy, then they probably won't go as long as 2 hours. Probably they will finish after an hour or an hour and a half, pretty much, and it's not gonna extend. But if it's in a a place where everyone's really devoted, then it can be as long as more than 3 hours even. So yeah. And then recitation of the Quran as well. Yeah, obviously, every time you read Quran, you will again, like that will count as good deed as well. Even if you don't read, but if you're listening to people, you also got the points in this case. I really hate saying points because it kind of feels like games, right? If I say points, maybe it's a game, I don't know. I mean, like maybe it's like I don't know, I kind of don't want to compare that with games, pretty much. But yeah, it's pretty much like what people believe anyway. So yeah, pretty much. What I'm trying to say is that if you're listening to someone reading, then you will get rewarded by, I mean, yeah, you listening actually is worth the same as reading, pretty much. So yeah, um, cultural practices, a kebab seller, okay, in Old Dhaka. I don't know where that is though. Okay, okay, kebab, interesting. That is from Middle Eastern. Although I kind of don't really like kebab. The reason why is because I don't know. It's a little bit too heavy for. Uh, it's supposed to be like appetizer, but sometimes it can get so big that it might as well be like a burrito. Like you know burrito, right? Or taco, pretty much. It can be as big as that. So it's not really a snack, right? However, if I eat that as main dish, then again, I eat rice mostly, and there is no rice. So, if I don't eat rice, I will not feel full. Pretty much, that's why I don't really like that. Okay, that's right. Striking the beduk or beduk, I guess, in Indonesia. Okay. Crescent. Interesting. Yeah. Okay. Uh, it's a symbol pretty much for Ramadan month. Yeah. For some reason, I don't know why. Ramadan in the old city of Jerusalem. Okay. Jerusalem. Okay. Not it's either Salem, whatever. In Cairo, Egypt. Okay. In Gulf countries, yes. Observance rates. Okay. According to 2012 Pew Research Center, there was widespread Ramadan observances with a median of 93% across the 39 countries and territories studied. Okay, that's interesting. Includes Southeast Asia. Okay, that is my country. Also like Malaysia as well, Singapore, Brunei, etc., etc. South Asia. Okay, I think that's in India, I believe. Middle East and North. Middle East, obviously, like in Turkey, in Arab. Yeah, and the North Africa, Egypt. I think Horn of Africa. I don't know where that is, and most of sub-Saharan Africa. Okay, percentages are lower in Central Asia, like China, and Southeast Europe. Okay, Southeast Europe is oh, okay, so it's around the location of what is it, like Vatican City, around that location, I think. Yeah, laws. Okay. Um, Okay, in some countries, eating in public during daylight in Ramadan is a crime. Yeah. However, that is, like a. I feel like my country also, like it's not really a law, but it's like there is certain group people that dislike that, and they confront people pretty much, and again the government is not liking that because it's not the law, right? Like it's not the law of the country pretty much. So yeah, there's always this kind of drama, and I can only imagine that there's gonna be one the same as well this year pretty much. I hope it doesn't happen in other countries though. Health effect, okay, it's just I guess the health effect of doing Ramadan. Ramadan in polar regions, we already mentioned about that. Like in the location where time is extended, right? Like sometimes it can get night every time, or daytime every time. So yeah, Ramadan in Earth orbit. Okay. Oh, so it's for astronaut. Interesting. What is that? In space, schedule religious practice around the time zone of their last location on Earth. Oh, that is interesting. So, okay. Um. Oh, I see. Okay, so yeah, okay, this is actually interesting. If you're like Malaysian, but you go to space from Florida, US, we all know, right? There's Florida is like the place for that. Um, then you will actually have to like obey the time of Florida instead of your Malaysia, I guess. Yeah, this also includes time for prayers, and yeah, I guess it's kind of that. Employment during Ramadan, okay, continue to work, obviously. Okay. Oh yeah, this also happens in my country. Pretty much during this time, the work hour is kind of shortened, but you're gonna be paid the same pretty much. So yeah, um, the working hour is shortened by an hour kinda, I believe. So if you're working from 8 to 5, or 9 to 5, I guess you will end at 4. You'll be allowed to leave pretty much because an hour of travel, for the allowance, an hour for travel, and then the last 30 minutes or an hour you can use that either to cook or to buy food, so that you can prepare your iftar at around 6 p.m. Pretty much in the evening. So yeah, that's why it's shortened, just so that you have more time to prepare for that. Because again, if you prepare that early in the morning, though, your food will go stale, right? Because it's like 12 hours apart, and no one likes stale food, pretty much. So yeah, I guess there's that. Yeah, I think there's that about Ramadan or fasting month. This is the first day, so if you're like also a Muslim, then happy fasting day, I guess. I'm also doing that, so yeah, it'll be interesting. Also, it'll be interesting for me starting from this day, making videos, because you will see me, a little bit not energetic probably, or like I'll probably make less videos during this time, which will affect around maybe next week. Pretty much it will affect like March to April, pretty much. So yeah, yeah, even April as well, because like sometimes I uploaded videos for the next um, month as well, right? So yeah, there you have it. That is Ramadan month, fasting month. I guess it's also a little bit of announcement as well that you will see my voice probably a little bit changed during this time. It'll be very different from this voice that I'm using, because again this is only January, and yeah, it's still 2 months from now pretty much. So yeah. Anyway, I think that will be it for this one. I hope you guys enjoy it. Stay safe, stay healthy. I will see you again tomorrow with another discussion. But until then, see ya.